What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I am One Eyebrow, also known as PT, and I'm back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 1, and Season 10 as a whole. Spoiler warning for The Walking Dead Season 10. We're going to talk about a couple things that you may have missed in the Season 10 premiere. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below if I missed anything. I always like learning, being a part of the community, and part of the Walking Dead family. But we have a lot of fun here, and I love talking about The Walking Dead. And if you can, guys, please hit that subscribe button and become a valued member of our PT channel, Walking Dead family. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers, and I don't want you to miss out on any great information that we post on a daily basis. So hit that subscribe button, and you won't miss out. So let's first talk about some things in the opening. New opening that is similar to Season 9, but there are some differences. I have a whole video about that. If you want to find out more about potential opening Easter eggs, connections, callbacks, check out that video. But I love the idea of having Rick in the opening. He's gone, but not forgotten. And we'll see him in the Rick Grimes movies, that's for sure. But I like the idea that Judith was telling the story of the brave man to RJ. RJ's never met Rick. And I did like the story of Judith remembering Rick as much as she can, because remember in Season 9, she was like, I can't remember what he sounds like, I can't remember what he looks like, but the memory of Rick still lives on. Then we see this right here. It is a yellow barrel. And what movie used a yellow barrel with a ship and a shark? Jaws. Greg Nicotero said that is one of the barrels from the Jaws movie, or movies, I'm not sure which one. Then we see this. It's the Whisperer skin, some shells, but if you look closely, you can see another connecting point with Jaws. It's very small, literally, but it is another connecting point to Jaws per Greg Nicotero on Talking Dead. It is a shark tooth from the movie Jaws. Again, I'm not sure which one, but it's a cool little Easter egg, 2 Easter eggs to the Jaws franchise. Then we see this right here. They're training. And if you know the comics, they're attacking the walkers here during the Whisperer War, and it's pretty cool. You can see some of the tactics and some of the idea there, and it's pretty cool. It's a little different, but I thought it was a nice connecting point to the comic. Donnie, Carol, whatever you want to call it, Connie and Daryl could be happening and should be happening. I think that's a good romantic relationship for Daryl finally on the show. And they kind of talked about it a little bit here with Kelly and Connie. Are they hinting at something here? Also, the Kelly hearing thing, in my opinion, is definitely setting something up for later on this season, so stay tuned about that. The American Sign Language book, it's interesting because Daryl probably is just learning sign language to communicate with Connie because Dog likes Connie. Daryl probably likes Connie too, and they have to communicate, and it's a nice little connecting point. As for New Mexico, did you pick up what that was about? If you know AMC shows, you know that The Walking Dead is somewhat connected to another huge AMC show known as Breaking Bad. It takes place in New Mexico. Of all the places and states to say, why did Daryl say New Mexico? He could have said Texas, Nebraska, anything and anywhere. To me, it's an Easter egg to Breaking Bad. Daryl and Carol on the motorbike, on the motorcycle. It's not much, but the only 2 people that were on a motorcycle with Daryl is Carol and Rick, and I find that pretty interesting. To me, it takes me back to Season 9, and anytime I can see a connecting point with Rick, I'm all about it. Because I do miss Rick Grimes on the show, but I still love the show. Season 10 was great, Season 9 was great since Rick went away, but I really hope that Daryl and Carol will get on their bike and ride to go find Rick. Somehow, some way in the movie, something has to happen with these 2 being reunited with Rick. I just love the behind the scenes shots with Daryl and Rick and Daryl and Carol. It's pretty cool. And I really hope Daryl and Carol meet Rick again. As for Dante, man, this character is different than the comics. Dante is connected with Hilltop and Dante is connected with Maggie in the comics. On the show, Dante is a doctor. In the comic, he's a soldier. He's not a doctor by any means. And he is weird. He is kind of creepy. He is definitely something that I'm like, I don't know about this guy. But the fact that we have 2 doctors now, who's going to go? Which one's going to go? As for being a sea dog, that's pretty interesting. If you know the comic, you know that Carol does not get on a boat, but another character. It's not Carol, but it's Michonne. Michonne is the one that becomes a pirate. Being a pirate, it's awesome, right? But is Carol being on a boat setting up something for someone else getting on a boat this season? is Michonne going to be the one to get on a boat and go find Rick? And I think there was a subtle little thing here when Michonne said to Daryl, basically about Carol saying that make sure she doesn't just leave without saying goodbye. Is that what's going to happen with Michonne? Is Michonne going to be forced to leave for some reason to go after Rick? But I have questions about that. We're going to answer them at the end of the video, potentially what the showrunner said about Michonne leaving. Make sure you watch to the end. As for Negan, he's Negan being Negan. But did you see a couple of differences from the show and the comic? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But Negan is definitely being guarded by Brandon. And Brandon is a different character so far on the show. It's a minor role. It's a super quick moment. If you blink, you miss it. Brandon's there. He's the guy guarding Negan while Negan is talking to Lydia. But in the comic, you know how important Brandon is to Negan. We talked about that in several other videos, but Brandon is the one that takes Negan to the Whisperer camp, or at least the border, and then Negan takes him out. As for Negan talking to Father Gabriel, he talks to Rick in the comic, but Rick is gone. So who does he talk to? Father Gabriel. There are some connecting points with Father Gabriel and Negan, and they do have a relationship because they have known each other for a while. But I kind of wish it was Rick and Negan talking, right? I still love the show. I'm not giving up on it, but Rick and Negan in the comic is different for the show because Rick's not there, and I do miss Rick. As for spiders, yep, we saw one in Season 9, Episode 1, and we also saw it in Season 10, Episode 1. They were connected with the same character. Siddiq saw this crazy spider, then he also saw this crazy spider in Season 10, Episode 1. So what's up with the symbolism? Does it mean anything? Why is Siddiq seeing spiders in both premieres, Season 9 and Season 10? Does it mean anything? Am I making too much of it? I don't know, but what does the future hold for Siddiq? Since we got 2 doctors now, I'm not sure if they're both going to make it, because you know what happens on The Walking Dead with doctors. As for the satellite, I love the idea of it crashing down from orbit, because that would happen. If they're not maintained, they would fall back towards Earth. It happens now without a zombie apocalypse, so it's pretty cool. The fact that it's a Russian satellite is pretty interesting because if you know Fear the Walking Dead, you know that Strand talked to a Russian cosmonaut, a Russian astronaut in Fear the Walking Dead Season 2. So I'm not saying it's a connecting point with the Russian astronauts, but it's kind of interesting. A Russian satellite, a Russian astronaut connected in the big universe of The Walking Dead, and Fear's definitely in that. I thought it was interesting. As for this, where did all the walkers go? And the walker horde was the nuclear weapon that Michonne was talking about. Some people are like, what? Nuclear weapon? What do they actually have? Well, where did all the walkers go? I'm sorry for the blurry picture, but all those walkers were there. Did they freeze? Did the Whisperers take them out with them to go south for the winter? I don't know. But did you see Talking Dead? We had some great guests. Daryl, Carol, Negan, Judith, Angela Kang, and Greg Nicotero. And we got some of this great information from them. But if you missed it, we highlighted a lot of good things. We saw a clip of Season 10, Episode 2, which will highlight Alpha and Beta and young Lydia. And it was pretty cool. They talked about a lot of good things. They also talked about Negan. Well, the question was asked to Angela Kang, will Negan meet Beta this season? And she said, yep. And it's awesome, but she couldn't give anything else away. So, Negan will meet Beta. Will Negan meet Alpha? That wasn't a question. But also the fact that when Michonne leaves the show. And I find it interesting because everybody's like excited about it. If she was killed off, people wouldn't be excited about it. Denise Huth is like, it gives more questions than answers. Kaylee Fleming's like, it was done really well. And then the question was to Angela Kang, if Michonne leaves, who's going to take care of Judith and RJ? And Angela Kang said, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a kid. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, raised his hand as in joking that Negan would take care of Judith, and they all might. I think it's a big dynamic that everybody will take care of Judith and RJ when Michonne leaves. And in my opinion, there's no way you kill off Michonne. And Michonne is my favorite character. And I have to say, I think she's one of, if not the most important female character on the show. So you can't just kill her off. Plus, there's all this symbolism going around. She's looking through binoculars, her journey, and she would do anything for her family and for Rick. So that's what I got, guys. Did you catch these things? Did I miss anything? I love talking about Easter eggs, callbacks, connections, theories, rumors, speculation. I love talking about The Walking Dead in general. So, if you can, guys, please be a part of our channel by subscribing. We love talking about The Walking Dead. We post daily comment, especially now with The Walking Dead in session. Oh, baby, we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead for months and months and months, and I don't want you to miss out. So thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. And for those interested in my Zombie Apocalypse book series, I have a link in the description to all 10 books. Fight for Us is the title. I hope you join the fight, and tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.